Peace, peace. About to go live in a second, man. Got some of my peoples joining me real quick. Jeez.
Yes, sir.
Jeez. Got some tunes bumping?
Yeah, that's sulfur. That's sulfur. I got the sulfur full right now.
Yeah. I don't think I'll ever get tired of this song, man. This is live, yo.
Nah, for sure, fam. I love it. I love it.
How can I explain it, man? It just brings this like warm feeling, like it feels like promising, you know what I'm saying? Like better days ahead, you know what I'm saying? Like
facts.
Like it feels like I'm allowed to be myself. You feel me?
For real though.
Yeah, man. So like it's like my song I play in the morning time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It has that kind of vibe, yo. Nothing but vibes, yo.
100, fam. I'm glad that it's able to, to project that light. You know what I
mean? Mm-hmm.
It just goes to show the importance of music, and like that song, like I just kept it 100%, like me.
Yeah.
I didn't change nothing because people are gonna like this, people are gonna like that. It's like nah, like mine's are going through things. I gotta tell people how it is, you know.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Trying to see how we can get here. Yes, man. We get Down by the Valley in this. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yes, sir, man.
Shout out my people joining. I know my people's on here live.
Jeez.
Gang.
Yeah. Salute.
Peace.
Yeah, man. Yo, quick bars. What was like the recording process, man, for Sulfur? Like who? First of all, who produced the beat, and how did that all like come about?
Absolutely. Yo, what up, Don? What are you saying, cuz?
I'm in the place, fam. I'm in the place. Big up everybody in the chat, yo. Big up.
You already know.
Yeah.
How Sulfur came about. I made that song a little while ago. And I was on YouTube. Usually I don't do the YouTube beats, but I was on YouTube and I found a beat. I was messing with it. And the producer for Sulfur is Hunger Force.
Okay.
And he's from the Bay. He's from Oakland.
Stop this. Okay.
Yeah, he's from Oakland. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I hollered at him, and I got myself a lease for the beat and all of that. I got a couple other beats too that's on Rose Avenue Story, produced by Hunger. But I'm very influenced by like West Coast culture.
Come on now.
Because even though the East and the West is like two different sides, I find they're very similar.
How so? What do you mean by that?
Well, like, it's deep, fam, because it all goes back to, like, even, like, the slave trade and stuff like that. Like, there was folks who went to Nova Scotia, and there wasn't a lot of space in Nova Scotia because there's a lot of people there, and they actually went back down south, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, fam. So it's same, like, the Jamaican and Maroon folks in Nova Scotia and them places like that. In the times when it was slavery and whatever, and they was trying to place people and whatever, there wasn't a lot of space there because there was already bare people coming there and bare people having families and such. So a lot of those slaves that they were going to put in Nova Scotia, they brought them back down south.
Indeed.
For
sure. So, that's some deep history maybe you don't even know, man. But so you get this instrumental and what happens from there?
I was just vibing out. I was in a zone where I was listening to a lot of Bone Thugs and Harmony, you know what I mean?
Come on.
Yeah. You know?
Yo.
I know I'm a young cat, but I be bumping those guys because their music really talks to me and it's real, you know what I mean?
Bone Thugs, man. So that's probably why I started growing my hair, actually, man, when Bone Thugs came out. Because they always had the sickest braids. I was like, yo.
You see it. Yeah, fam. And I was in my Bone Thugs and Harmony bag, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And my Rose Avenue bag. And I was like, yo, I got to start telling people the story. Because I think when you're an artist and people see you in a light where it's very captivating and influencing, they may think that it's like that human element is not there.
Right.
You know what I mean, fam? Yeah, fam. So with Sulfur is like, if you know who I am, I'm a very people person. I'm very open. I love to spread love and chat with people. But I feel like the music thus far wasn't showing people that unless they already knew me. You know what I mean?
Right.
So sometimes people were approaching me and they're kind of not scared, but they're on their defense because they think I might be a certain way. But on
Indeed.
the reals, like I'm just chill, fam. You know what I mean?
That show.
100.
Yeah,
100.
fam. You know? Yeah, yo. So with Sulfur, I was just like, yo, I gotta tell people the story of like, you know, how I got to this place right here. You know what I'm saying? Like certain things, like memories of sitting on them sofas and the traps and shit. You know what I mean? Like just showing people, like, yeah, I was there, fam. You know, and when I was there, I always had it in my head that I was like, yo, I want to do the music, but I just didn't know how. Because I didn't have the creative expression, I didn't have the outlets, I didn't have the support at the time, right?
Facts.
So like Sulfur was just my opportunity as an artist, and not only an artist, just as a person,
Yeah.
to prove to myself like, yo, I'm gonna put out raw me, and if people gravitate and accept this, then they appreciate who I am, and I can show them more of who I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, that's peace, man. So salute to you for having that the courage for you to be your authentic self. And
Respect,
and I think that really came across like in the video, man. So that being said, like who like directed the video, man? Because yo, that was fire. I think it really
Yeah,
captured the essence, and you know what I mean? So
absolutely. Yeah, that's Des, shot by Des Lingard. That's my homie. I've been doing videos with him since like 2018.
okay.
When I first came out, I had 2 videos on my own wave right now. You know what I mean? Those were videos that everyone was like, "Oh, I lie." Then after that, once I had the people's attention, so I was like, "Word, like I'm gonna give you guys some original, like you never seen. Like I'm not gonna come with the quality. I'm just gonna come with the rawness." You know what I mean?
Right, right.
Yeah, fam. And you know, Des was like the perfect person to help me express that, because even him himself, he wasn't like no top like tier camera guy. He was just
Right.
starting out. And he's like,
Okay.
yo, fam, you have a certain quality, yo. I don't want to diminish that, you know? I said, nah, fam, it's all good. Because if they can mess with this and like me when I look all cool, we're going to see how they like me on the reels, dog. You know what I mean?
Proper.
Yeah, fam. So that was a point in my career. A lot of people was like, yo, fam, that's not a good move. But it was actually a really good move for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I realized with the level of content and the level of stuff that I had at that time, and I was willing to pull out because I wanted people to understand where I was coming from. If I knew I can make a difference with that, when I have all these other things or my thing grows,
Right.
I know it's going to be very powerful. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, that's dope, man. And just to add to that, before we do our check-ins and all that good stuff,
Yeah.
Like you were recently featured on the news, you know what I mean? And they actually used some of the clips from the video. And I thought that was like an incredible like usage of that, because oftentimes like you don't really get hip hop artists shown on the news in such a positive light. Like usually it's like the negative stereotypes and whatnot, but this was actually, and because I look at it because they could have quoted a few different things from the song, but they strategically use stuff that would like empower you and just really enhance your story. You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
it definitely like you made the right choice. You know what I
Respect.
mean? And look at where your authentic self got you. You
Facts.
understand? So I think like any aspiring artists out there, always strive to be your authentic self, because you have your own story that's yours.
Yep.
And you know what I mean? And it's your duty to share that with the world, because that's how we connect with each other. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
On the real.
Nah,
That's
well
peace.
said, fam. Well said.
Yes, man. Don, how you doing though?
Come on, yo. I'm up. Everything's up for me, dog. I'm feeling good, yo. I ain't got as many shit going on in the front like Mars got, but I got bare shit cooking in the back. Mans are feeling good. I'm up,
About the
yo.
same, because I know like you stay in the studio as well. You know what I'm saying? I know when the time's right, you're gonna step into the light, and I know like you know what I'm saying, it's gonna be nothing but golden brilliance and whatnot. So definitely looking forward to that. Yeah, man.
That's love.
Yeah. So like this live here is kind of like an experiment. I mean, we have like amazing conversations and meetings, for our youth programs and whatnot. And I figured that it would be kind of cool just to, put some stuff out there so people can really kind of see behind the scenes of like some of the things that we're doing, and why, why and how we create these opportunities for young people. You know what I'm saying? Because like Mars, you've been getting a lot of like recognition, and people see like like the projection, the outward stuff, but not really seeing the behind the scenes and the work that has like led you to get to this place.
It's true.
You know what I mean? So it's like it's a lot of work, you know what I mean, and it requires a lot of teamwork and building together and compromise and all this good stuff, you know what I mean? But before we get into like the program and do some of our reflections, man, let's do our check-in, man, because you know, as we know, like check-in is so important. It really kind of gives us an opportunity to you know, share what we're going through, how we're feeling. And I think it's just a great way to like kind of set the tone for any kind of like interactions, you know what I'm saying? And like, and it's always good, you know what I'm saying? So that being said, yo, Don, man, what's up, man? How you feeling, man? How you feel on the scale from 1 to 10, you know?
I'm like this close to a 10, you know. I'm probably like 9ish. It's still starting up my day, you know. Once I get the food in me and I get like the motives for the day, I should be good.
Yeah.
But
Don't know.
yeah, I'm feeling good, you know. I had a good weekend, All-Star game and shit. Took that in.
Okay, okay.
Last week, a lot of information came in, you know. So it with that, like a lot of opportunity rose, you know. Like again, learning a lot about like Bitcoin, learning a lot about like NFTs, all these new like ways of finance and just ways of managing life. Like I'm starting to find like the bridge between two worlds that I'm really interested in, really like researching right now, like with the music shit and like the finance shit. Like I'm finding like the happy median of both. And yo, I take this music stuff for real. Like it's not like a hobby for me. You know what I mean? Like this is a profession. This is something that ultimately I want to be a means of like providing for myself, you know? So when I get information like I got last week, you know, it really excites me. And like I double back to my gang and I just circulated the information between all of us. And yo, everybody's feeling the vibe. Everybody's up, you know, everybody's really ready to get it. So no niggas feeling up. Like I'm just feeling mad, feeling really good. Feeling real good.
Yo, I love that, especially like, you know, when you get information that inspires you and you know that like next man's or whoever you're interacting with can benefit from it. You know, sometimes like, you know, like my era was all about like kind of keeping the knowledge to yourself and not really like sharing that. Even if you see someone that could be prosperous off, it's like, nah, because like there's like this fear that the next man may shine a little like brighter than me or whatever, you know what I mean? So I know like we got to like dead that, and I really believe in, you know, like the power of abundance, like the mindset of abundance as opposed to scarcity. Like there's more than enough to circulate and go around. 100%. And in fact, when you empower the people that's around you, you actually empower yourself as well.
100%.
No,
I come from a firm belief that like, yo, bosses are made because they provide opportunities, dog. If you can't make no opportunity for somebody, then I'm not trying to hear your boss talk, you know. That ain't real for me. So I feel like, yo, shit's been real good, you know.
Proper. Yeah,
talk to us, Logic. How you feeling, dog?
Yo, man, I don't want to say a 10. I'm like a 9.5. I'm not 9.5. I'm up there though. You know what I mean? I feel pretty motivated. You know, as you know, like last week I had my daughter out here for March break. Well, Quebec, you know, has her own March break, and I had to drive her back on the weekend. You know what I mean? So it's always this kind of bittersweet vibe. You know what I mean? Like when I hanging out with her and I have to like bring her back home, it's almost like going through like a breakup every time. You know what I'm saying? So it's strange, just like these weird emotions, but at the same time, it's like I know we'll connect again, and we speak a lot on FaceTime and make those things or whatever. But yeah, I'm feeling up, man. I'm feeling motivated. You know what I mean? The sun's shining. You know, there's a lot of good things like in the works. You know, like working with individuals like yourself, man. Like, you know, just keep me pushing forward. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely excited for this week. You know what I mean? With our programs and our sessions, and just, you know, continue to do what we got to do, man. So yeah, man, I'm feeling blessed right now. Yeah, man. And Mars, how you feeling, bro?
I'm a 10 still, you know?
Let's go.
Yeah, man.
Let's go.
I was gonna say like a 7 or an 8, but you know, why would I lie? You know, I got up a little early today, 9 o'clock. I went to bed early last night. You know what I'm saying? Check one of my homies. You know, we were catching up. I had to dip out though because I had an Instagram live. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Which I was on last night. I was doing some talking.
Dope.
But yeah, I got to bed early, woke up early, got some new beats, you know. Shout out my boy YNL. You know, he's an upcoming producer out here. I got some work coming up with him. So yeah, I've just been going through these beats, you know, held it fresh, got my fro out, you know, got my antennas out, you know, ready to go.
Big vibes.
Yeah, fam. And sometime later today, I'm gonna be checking into the studio, so that's always a good thing, you know. Just like Don, you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to cook, you know.
That's it, man. That's peace, man. Yo, I just want to give a shout out to some of the people's in the chats. You know what I mean? A lot of people joining in, bigging us up. what's this top wizard mentioned about there's a course at Rosena, hope I pronounced that right, called
What up,
Creative
DB?
Industries. It inquires the same thing that we're talking about like artists, entrepreneurs, and all in one. So that could be something to check out.
Yes,
Oh,
Dope,
sir.
dope.
Ryerson. Okay, not Ryerson has a course. Okay, I saw called the correction later on. Yeah, man. Shout out to everyone. Big up, big up, big up.
Yeah. Shout out Luna My Jeans. Shout out to DB, Top Wizard. Shout out everybody in the chat. You
Yeah,
know
man.
what I'm saying?
Yo, big up, yo, and yo, if you guys got plays like that, like big up Top Wizard for throwing that play out there. I don't know who can benefit from that, but yo, you guys are a part of this thing too, dog. We hopped on live so all you guys could be in the cut with us. So I
Exactly, man.
appreciate you guys. Just throw out those gems.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. We definitely have some past participants in our programs, online, and I know a lot of people have been inquiring, asking about it, and sometimes like everything we do is so closed that it's kind of hard to like really showcase like what we do. Like people just see like the effects, they know that it's empowering, people want to be plugged in, you know what I mean? But we want to take this opportunity to like bring stuff like on a different platform that's a little more accessible, so people can kind of just jump in and chime in and get some knowledge. And that's what it is. So anybody who's on here that has information that's useful, that you feel others can benefit from it, definitely add that in the comments, man, because we're trying to build our community here, man, and make sure that everyone can have access to empowerment and just, keeping things moving, man. So that's what's up. True indeed, man. True indeed. So, so now we do our check-ins, and then we kind of go into like a reflection of like what we're going to be doing for this week. So we have like the responsibility program. Do one of y'all want to, explain what the program is? You know what I mean? For those who do not know.
For sure. I hope I can get it, but if I miss anything, feel free to jump in, Mars or Logic.
Yeah,
But,
I got you.
responsibility program is just a space that we develop to raise emotional intelligence between our participants. Like we understand that there's a lot of pressures nowadays, and we don't have a lot of spaces where we can decompress and where we can unpack and like find like-minded individuals who are like on the same path as us and encourage like are invested in everyone's progression and everybody's well-being, and more importantly like testing individuals' ability to respond to life's different issues. We've gotten hit from all types of angles with everything, you know what I mean? And school doesn't necessarily give you what you need to fend off all of those things, like I feel like this is the space that we've created to like really address some of the things that really don't get a space to talk about.
Facts, man. Yeah, Mars, want to jump in to share some of your experiences?
Yeah, for sure. I was just gonna say, just to build on that, very well said, Don. Yeah, like responsibility program. It's a space for young men to connect. You know what I'm saying? To have conversations, to ask yourself questions, and build with other people on things that we don't usually talk about. As young men, it's really hard, especially nowadays for the young bucks. Like when I was growing up, it was hard, but for the young bucks right now, it's also hard, fam, because they look on their phone. They look outside the communities. Toronto, I'm not going to lie and say Toronto's not in a place right now where a lot of youth are dying or going to jail, you know what I mean? So, like, responsibility program, I think we're getting the core time when people start feeling these emotions, especially young men, and they start thinking now, what do I do in life? You know what I'm saying? What am I meant for? I'm from the hood, you know what I'm saying? The people I look up to in the community, they're not necessarily bad people. They might be slanging, they might be doing certain things,
Right.
And as a young man, fam, you don't know right from wrong. You're just trying to figure out where you fit in this world, you know what I'm saying?
True indeed.
I think responsibility program, it's a good circle, because basically that's how we do everything in a circle. It's a good circle and cipher for us to like bounce that energy off of each other and that knowledge off of each other, because not only other kids but kids like myself, like if I didn't have that space to like build and grow with other people like you and Chavoy, who I seen in light, like, yo, these is people that look like me and they're in my school, they must be doing something serious.
Right.
So now how could I get involved in this? How could I take that knowledge and create movements for myself? If kids don't have those type of supports, fam, we can't get mad when we see them living a certain lifestyle, because there's more people here, and there's more to them. Like, yo, this is what what it is. This is what it is. This is what you're supposed to do. Then people reminding them that, yo, fam, you know, if you tap into yourself, you can grow, you can build. You don't have to go through the rah, rah, rah. You know what I'm saying?
Now, there's like a
peace.
lot of, yeah, no, respect for that, man. I just want to add on to that because, you know, there's a lot of like programs and stuff that happen in schools or community centers and what have you, that are great though. But my question to you is like, how important is like, you know, like representation to you? Like, how is it important? How important is it for you to see people that you can like relate to, that understand you from like a cultural perspective or just a community perspective? You know, like, how important is that for you?
It's mad important, you know what I'm saying? Because if I can't find motivation within myself, I'm gonna look to these people who represent me, you know, or people who I can make connections with that I can say, yeah, that person could represent me. Yeah, he's from my block, you know. He can speak for me. He understands, you know. I think it's mad important, fam, you know, because not only as individuals, but as like leaders in our community, you know, all of us are leaders in our community, and we're also artists, you know. And with that, it comes with certain responsibility. And I can make it a large, but I'll bring it down like real quick. You know, the power of your influence is mad important. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's very important that the people that we're representing, we show them that it's like, yo, we're still human. We still mess up, and that's okay to mess up. But I think as us, as the leader, that people are watching, yo, fam, every move is accounted for, fam. You know, it's not the end of the world, but when these kids are looking at you, you think they're just looking, fam. That's everything to them. You know, because I remember when I was young, short encounters I had with OGs, they probably don't even remember. I remember the moment for the rest of my life.
Facts.
You know? So whether it was a positive or the negative influence at the time, I was too young to see the difference. I was just like, yo, this is someone who represents me and that I can connect with. Right. So whatever energy they're giving me or whatever example they're setting for me, that's the right thing to do. You know? So I think it's mad important, fam. You know what I'm saying? Don't want to go too on and on, but you know,
you
know that people are inspired by your light, lead them in the right way. Don't lead them in the wrong way.
People are inspired by your light. I mean, for better or for worse. Like, ain't that the truth, man? Hey, yo, Don, why don't you add on to that though?
Nah, I'm thinking like, yo, us as people, and I know as I'll speak on behalf of like being that nigga from a single parent home and stuff. Like, the first like sense of belonging that people like myself have, I feel like usually comes from like the ends or from the mandem or like stuff like that. And more often than not, like, we're all uninformed. We all don't know Wagwan, but we're in it together and we're just trying to figure it out. And that can work for better or for worse. You know, I've been with the mandem and got twined up in some things because, you know, we just didn't know any better and make a poor decision. Not all the time we get the opportunity to come back from that poor decision, you know? So I feel like with that sense of belonging, I feel like we're creating a space where like, yo, man, we're not gonna make you feel away for being who you are and wanting to like find out a little bit more about like the knowledge or something like that, you know? Like, it's a real come as you are type of thing. And like, I feel like it's important to have that kind of sense of camaraderie, because I know like when I was like coming out of high school and I was going through the things, like I was more inclined to go along with the popular thing to do, you know?
Indeed.
So that didn't always work out for me, real shit. So I really think it's important to have people that are like in the public sphere, not even in the public sphere, but just on the front line. You know what I mean? Like, when you talk about frontline workers and all of that stuff, I feel like this is frontline work, you know? Because there's nobody that's going to be in our communities that are like trying to give you the game that you need to make a better circumstance for yourself, you know? So I feel like that's what we're doing.
That's peace, man. Yo, I want to see people's in the chats, man. If you feel that these kinds of conversations are important, you know, seeing representation of just, so you know, young Black men having these types of conversations. And then another question is like, do you get to hear these conversations on the regular? Like, you know, like, I mean, maybe amongst your peoples, like, you know, you have these kind of conversations. Maybe this is a new thing for you. You know what I mean? Definitely let us know in the chats of what works out for you. I just want to shout out Starboy Jalen, who mentioned about meditation is key. Doing this like every rising and night helps to clear the mind. Yeah, man, I definitely agree with that. You know, I mean, that's a great way to like start and end the day, you know, because it kind of like sets the tones. It's very intentional. And then as well as, you know, kind of like, you know, decompressing at nighttime, you know what I mean? So you don't have all the clutter and all the ideas. I know sometimes for me, man, I got like a million ideas going around in my head, you know what I mean, at nighttime. And sometimes it's a bit much, you know what I mean? But I think like kind of, you know, centering yourself and you know, slowing things down is definitely like a helpful thing, most definitely.
Absolutely.
I want to shout out only one me who says that this is amazing what you guys are doing for the community. So big up, to you for recognizing,
Don't know.
recognition. Yeah, man. So big up to everybody in the chat, man, who's definitely coming through. Yeah, man. So what was I going to say? So like, yeah, so this week, you know, we're going to be continuing the topic of like body image, you know, self-image and body image, you know, and that was like a really interesting topic, you know what I mean, about like what people are going through. I might even just put it out to those you know, who are tuned in, you know what I mean, if there's ideas around like body image or self-image, you know what I mean, that come to mind, you know what I mean, definitely share like your perspectives. But I want to ask like both of you, like, how important is an understanding of, you know, self-image and body image, you know, for you, just like in your life, you know, like in your experiences.
I think they're like two parts of the self that like I tap into differently, you know.
Okay.
I feel like my self-image is something that I really consider a lot because of like my artistry. Like what Mars was saying earlier, like, yo, people might know you as a certain way and doing a certain thing, but
Right.
like, you know, how you're able to like present that to the world can kind of change how that world perceives you. So like that's one thing that I always try and think of, like especially as far as the music and the art goes, you know, like creating things that really resonate with me and really reflect who I am as a person. And then that kind of bleeds into like behavior and character and all of those things. So like there's just an honest portrayal of who I am. Like I feel like Travoy and Don Dior are like the same thing. And like
Right.
I don't like me for me it's about finding ways to make that relationship more visible or just apparent to other people.
Right.
So that's one thing. But then it's just like on a regular, like taking it back down to like your self image, like the way that you see yourself might not be the same way that your Duke sees you, or like the Mandem seeing you, or like anybody else for that matter in your vicinity sees you. So I think it's about creating that bridge between who people see you are as and who you want to portray and reflect as a person. So that's like the self-image part. And then the body image part, I feel like is about like the health and the wellness, you know, like the look good, feel good type of thing, you know, like I be getting up, crunching out my 100 push-ups, crunching out my Ray-Rays,
Yep.
you know, and that does something for my insides that kind of comes outward, and it's more apparent for everybody that's taking that in. If some people be like, yo, you shining different, or yo, things different with you, dog, was popping, you know, your skin's glowing or whatever. And you know, I feel like it's the result of doing those things that are good for your body and good for your health and good for your wellness, you know. I feel like those things reflect in your image.
Well said.
Oh, well said, man. I love that, man. Like you definitely have like a really solid perspective of like, you know, just self reflection, like knowledge of self. You know what I mean? You can tell you've been doing the work and really understanding that, and everything's like really intentional. So that's blessed for you, man. Big up to you, man. Mars, man, what's your perspective on, you know, body image, self image, and how does that show up for you?
Well, definitely like what Don said, like you hit the nail on the coffin, cause you know, 100%. What I can say for myself, man, you know, I think image has a lot to do, cause like sometimes you're not really tapped into reality like that. So it's like you may not be listening for details and stuff like that, but you can see, you know. You know, I do believe that, like, you know, your eyes are the window of your soul, you know what I'm saying? So whether you're seeing certain things and that energy is like being reciprocated through how you see it, or if you feel a certain way inside or you're a certain way, how you see yourself being that, or how you see yourself reflecting that light, I think it has a big impact on not only other people but yourself. You know what I'm saying? One of my homies said, he's like, yo, one day I was cheese, you know, and I was telling him why I'm cheese. And he's like, yo, fam, I feel you, you know what I'm saying? But he's like, yo, remember, 80% of your happiness lies on the way that you choose to view the world, you know what I'm saying? So then right? Right?
Damn, yo, I got
Yeah, fam. You know, and I can't even say what I was venting about wasn't heavy, because it was heavy, you know what I'm saying? Everyone goes to their things. But he was like, yo, fam, 80% depends on how you choose to use the world, you know?
It's a lot, yo.
Yeah, fam, you know? And so when I realized that and I understand, it's like, yo, like, knowledge is like, knowledge can't exist if I don't know, you know what I'm saying? So once I know, now I have the knowledge, you know what I'm saying? And if I can practice that knowledge, you know what I'm saying? Wise words, wise ways, and actions, you know? Now I have a wisdom of that.
Yeah,
You know
wisdom, all right?
Yeah,
And then get to the understanding.
And then you get an understanding, which is a clear mental picture, you know? And a clear mental picture, you want to be able to break down, you know, on something that you learned, how you learned it, why it is the way it is, and then have a clear mental picture. So hopefully that you can use these things to bring you forward or bring other people forward too, you know?
That's
that
what's
way.
up. Yo, I just want to shout out Butterfly Flower real quick, man. Jane and Finch finest. You know what I mean? Like OG in the community, always advocating for the young people, for the underdogs, you know what I'm saying? Like one of the most fearless like women that I know. And also shout out to like, you know, the today's the national in the day of women recognition. So we got to big up, you know, like all of the women in our life, man, doing the big things and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Happy Independent Women Day, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Right, that way,
Gotta
yo.
salute.
Or encourage one of the ladies in your life, you know, to do what they're supposed to do, you know, like they're supposed to shine. They're here to shine, so, you know, let them know.
That's all it is, man. But yeah, man, just to build on, you know, like the whole like, you know, body image and you know, image of self. It's so true. Like the way how we perceive ourselves will definitely dictate the way how we experience the world. You know, and for me, like, you know, like when I think of like, you know, like self image, everything I wear is just like a projection of me, right? Because as soon as I step into a place, like my whole aura, my whole energy is going to speak before I even speak. You know, I know Don, you know, mentions that a lot, and that's very true. You know what I mean? So when I come through wearing Stone from Africa, it's like I'm deliberately setting off a certain kind of vibration. You know what I mean? Like people may, you know, may have certain perceptions, and that's going to initiate conversation, and that's exactly what I want. You know, where I'm able to like kind of shift the environment and shift the perception that people may have. You know, and body image is definitely aligned with, you know, I feel like just like self-love and health. You know what I mean? I see like I access wealth in that kind of aspect. You know what I mean? And you know, building up like self-esteem, like really taking time to work on myself. You know what I mean? So that could also be like physically, but also like mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and all these different things. You know what I mean? Because I feel like oftentimes like we put a lot of energy into things that are outside of ourselves. You know what I mean? Because we have certain influences around us and whatnot. But I think like, you know, for me, it's just been about like understanding what's true to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to be doing things outside of my character where, you know, I'm struggling to find my reflection when I look in the mirror. I want to be able to be like, yo, this is who I am, this is me. And me being myself will naturally attract like the right energy towards me. You know, some people may not agree with how I dress or how I am or whatever, but they have to respect it. You know what I'm saying? And I think just create that kind of energy, like we all have that power, and that's what we got to do, man. We got to keep building, keep accepting, man.
Very well said.
Yeah, man.
It's true.
That's, you know what I mean. That's really the vibe, and I guess like, you know, because we still got some people's on the chat right now. Like, how important is it for you to have like these kinds of conversations, or just even having like a weekly check-in to like see how you're doing and how you're vibing and all that?
Bro, let us know how y'all feel about that. Honestly, it does wonders for me, yo. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, yo, right.
It's a part of the lifestyle now, cuz.
Yeah, yo, I don't even realize it, but a lot of the times I'm not even checking in with nobody until one of you guys prompt me, you know? So
Word.
Like I could only imagine like just the people that are present and them
Right.
things, you know, like I don't know
Sure.
if you guys get if I don't know if you guys got people you guys in the chat. I don't know if you guys got people checking in with you regularly, but these two brothers holla at me, be like,
Mm.
yo, how you really feeling? Like, what's really going on? You know, like I just got awareness of like I can overstand, like I could read people's energies a lot easier,
Word.
especially knowing
Mm.
like just interacting with so many different people. Yeah.
For real though.
Yeah, that's real, man. You know what I mean? So I guess my question is like, have you been able to like take these like check-ins like outside of the group? Like, do you bring that into your community, to your spaces with the mandem and, you know, because I feel like in our culture, it's like, you know, we'll check in with each other, but it's kind of like this like surface check-in. It's like, yo, you good? It's like, yeah, I'm good. And like, that's as far as it goes. You know what I mean? Like, no one's really like, nah, I'm not doing good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, do you take those kind of like, you know, I guess like tools, if you will, into like spaces outside of program and give like, you know, people opportunities to really, you know, share and check in.
Go ahead, Mars.
Yeah, I was gonna say definitely, fam. You know, because like more times at first, like I'm a type of person like I always ask people like how they're doing and stuff like that,
Mm.
whatever. You know, but like doing this on a weekly basis, not only does it help me be able to communicate and check in with other people, but it helps me check in with myself. You know, I
Mm.
think that's man important. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you might be checking in with people so you can avoid checking in with yourself. You know,
True.
so now I mentally prepare myself as if like, yo, if I'm willing to ask someone, yo, how are you doing? I'm like, nah, like for real, like how you doing, you know? I have to be completely okay and prepared for when they ask me, yo, how are you doing? Like for
Mm.
real though. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't expect them to give me that answer if I'm not
Mm.
being 100 chill from that place. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely helped me in a big way, fam. And it's also realized too, what I realized is that the impact it has on other people and also yourself when you create space for people to be like human for
Mm.
real. You know what I'm saying? Like actually,
Mm.
asking people like how they're doing. You know what I'm saying? And not asking them because it's a good thing to ask, but you're showing people that whatever they're experiencing and the present moment, which is the most valuable thing right now, is important. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
You know, when you show people like, you know, how you feel is important, you know, that experience that affected you yesterday, which is affecting how you are right now, is important. It's
Mm.
not just gone. You know what I'm saying? That's a part of the Akashic record. So it was there before, after, and like through the whole,
Indeed.
on some levels, you know what I'm saying? So I think letting people know that the smallest things, you know what I'm saying? Like, hi, how are you doing? Or asking yourself, like, yo, how do I feel and why? You know, maybe what's a goal? What's something that I want to accomplish this week? Please, everyone, you know, give yourself a chance to do that because
Mm.
there's so many things going on in the world and systematically designed for us to not do that. So it
True.
makes us be dependable on like our phone devices,
Mm.
you know, talks in the hood, you know what I'm saying? You know, trying to get
Indeed.
money, you know, it distracts us for really asking ourselves, why are we doing certain things and how do we want to live? How do we feel, you know?
Yo, I like that what you said, man, because it kind of just like slows time down a little bit. You know what I mean? Because I feel like growing up in the city, man, everything's just so rush and hustle, and you know,
Yeah,
you either got to be coming from somewhere, going somewhere, or you know what I mean? It's like there's no chilling, but to like really take that time to be like, no, like really, how are you doing? It just kind of slows things down, and you know, I remember some of my first experiences doing the check-ins. It was like it kind of caught me off guard. It was just like, whoa, like actually had me reflecting, like actually, how am I doing? Because I'm so used to just giving like the automated response, like yeah, everything's blessed, even though I may be hurting inside. You feel me? But to
yeah,
really be like, oh snap, like actually, no, I'm not good today. And there's actually people listening and willing to like create this like kind of like container of safety. You know what I mean? Because I think in order to open up and to be vulnerable, like people got to feel safe. You know what I mean? And there's a certain level of trust that comes with that. And then from there, it's like, yo, like it I feel like it would just naturally naturally deepen like the relationship. You
Yeah.
know what I
absolutely.
mean? Because they feel like, yo, I can trust this man a little more, or women, or whoever you're interacting with, and know that, yo, they see me for who I am. Like, you know what I mean? It's not just a whatever. It's like, no, like they're actually looking out for me. And
Yeah,
just You know what I mean? So there's something that's powerful about that. So I encourage everyone who's out here, you know what I mean, check in with at least one person and really do that. You know what I mean? Not just, yeah, everything blessed, you don't know. But it's really like, yo, how are you doing? You know what I mean? Like times are, strange right now. Emotions are high. And I think it's really, valid to just give space. And it's a really easy thing to do. It's a really easy thing to do. And we all have the ability to do that. You know what I mean? Yes, Don, what are some of your experiences with the check-ins?
I would say like outside of my space, checking in, I would say I don't do as formally, because I know personally, like when I was in a space where I wasn't really ready to like go there, like
Mm-hmm.
that kind of energy would put me off. You know what I mean? Like, not saying that it's necessarily bad energy. Like, yo, just like somebody that's forcing you to be a little bit more aware of Wagwan with yourself. Some people aren't ready to be there yet, right? So these conversations could be a little bit triggering or it could be traumatic. So, my energy is always on some like, how do I foster the most inclusive space? So for me, it's on some like, yo, you gotta spoon feed them type thing, like not coming in all the way hot, like off the rip. Yo, what's going? How are you feeling? Like, yo, there's so much going on in the world. Like, what, like, open up. I feel like that's a tough ask for a lot of people off the rip. Even when you do have a prior relationship with people, like one, people might not be as willing to open up in the first place, and two, like people might not even trust your abilities to like foster that space. So my way is just I drip. I spoon feed until a person's willing and ready to be like, yo, you know what? Yo, that thing that you were saying the other day, like, yo, fam, what were you really talking about? Like I kind of wait for that opportunity before I really like, all right, like checking in, it's a self-awareness reflection tool, and something that you should like try and implement and practice so you can personally develop and stuff. I feel like that's a lot for somebody,
Yeah.
And one thing that I kind of remembered about like being in university was like, yo, when I was learning stuff and like new information that I thought was ill and I thought like it's the type of shit that everybody could benefit from, I would come back to the ends with it, and like it wouldn't translate. Like niggas weren't trying to hear that, So I think as like leaders ourselves, we kind of have to understand like what our people need and how to deliver it to them. I do believe in the need and the urgency behind check-ins. I think it's important to keep in mind, the people that are participating and how to like package that in a way that they can receive it the best. If that makes sense.
Yeah, man, just to add to that, because that's so true. You know what I mean? Because sometimes when you get this new information, we're so excited to share, and sometimes people are not even in the space to receive it. So like from a youth worker perspective, one thing that we were always taught and to like, operate out of is to meet people where they are. You know what I'm saying? Like like literally, like physically, mentally, emotionally, like meet them where they are, and I found like another technique for check-ins or whatever could be, like maybe like the songs that they're listening to. Like, they may have that one tune that's on repeat, and that could be like a way of them kind of like expressing, like what they're going through or an emotion that they're like relating to at the moments, And I find like that's like an easy way to check in, you know what I mean? And then from there, just like what you said, Don, you can be like, oh, like I noticed that these themes and topics are coming up in this song. Like, how does that like, like relate to you or whatever, however you want to frame it. And then that could be something. You know what I mean? I just want to jump in the chat real quick. Top Wiz Up mentioned that men do not like to talk about their emotions a lot of the times. Do you guys agree with that? Yes or no?
Absolutely.
100%. And just to compound that, like men from the hood or men from the ends, like that's even double as much. Men are probably like really reluctant to speak up about how they feel. But if you from the ends, I guarantee you're not having the same conversation that you're having with your circle, with like your guidance counselor or with a therapist or something,
Mm-hmm.
Bars. And yo, fam, I just want to build on something you're saying because you made a great point,
Yeah.
I realized like at times not even right now, I don't always have the skills to like check in with people, you know what I'm saying? That's something that I built. But what I realized, fam, is like the thought of checking in with people, it's always there, you know what I'm saying? it's in people's like, it's how they deliver it, you know what I'm saying? So like what you were saying, you know, how do you package that to people? Yo, I realized, fam, when I was young, bro, the way I would really try to check in with my people and ask them like, yo, fam, how you doing? Like, what's going on, you know? Fam, yo, let's go roll up. Meet me over here, yo. And we're gonna bun a thing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
my way
Facts.
of saying, yo, let's check in. You know? And even when we're doing that, the blunt's making us feel comfortable, you know? Because we don't have to be like, yo, fam, what's going on? Da-da-da-da. Nah, it's just like, yo, man's our chief, and it's like
natural.
Yo, that was crazy, you know. Da-da-da-da-da. And then the man them start building organically. But yo, I really like the point that you made on that, Don, fam, you know? It's how you deliver it to your people. Because I know sometimes people, they might be not ready to go into that space. True. But if you understand that might be a little intense for them, yo, fam, take a walk in their park and ask them, how would you like to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, how could we do this, fam? You know what I'm saying? It will make people feel a lot more valued and appreciated, you know what I mean?
You nailed it. You're nailing it. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we come from an area where we really gotta be like fend up survival mode, you know? Like, you really gotta be able to, like, you hold your own in order just to manage, you know? So sometimes it's hard to turn that off switch when it's time to just relax and be comfortable and chill, you know? Like, niggas are still on the you know? Like, yo, you see, you have to kind of like those balling up, or like you have a 1-2 juice with your brethren, or, you know, you got a shotty in the place. Like, those are things to kind of like take off our edge, because we come into the place like, you know, or even like you're looking at a man and you're like, yo, dog, yo, why this guy keep looking at me, bro? That energy gets cut as soon as like a girl's in the place, and, you know, most guys are now watching the girl, and now you can find, yo, you and my you end up copping trees from the same dude or something, you know, and like now you have common grounds to build from there, you know.
Yeah.
Yo, that's bars, man. They just reminds me of like so much that, like, yeah, man, like the way how you explain that, that's so true. And just like the always being on guard, you know, as a young black man, it's like, you know, we're conditioned to really just have that, and that starts from young. You know what I'm saying? Like, to always be on guard and protect your emotions. You can't be crying. You can't be showing your soft, like, and all these layers to get to that space. You know what I mean? It takes time, and I feel like oftentimes, like, there's also like a lack of trust, like just from our experiences. You know what I mean? Like letdowns, whether that's with family, whether that's at school, whether that's in your environment. So like to really show that kind of like vulnerability, it's like, nah. But you're right. There is these kind of like, I guess, tools in between that will kind of like, you know, let the guard go down a little bit for the time being, not all the way, but a little more. You know what I'm saying? And it's so true. It's so true. Like the way how we're conditioned, man. So it's like, how can we create more of these spaces for healing and ways to like process like these kinds of emotions? You know what I mean? Because it's not to say that the emotions aren't there. Because, you know, if I were to listen to like a lot of like the Toronto music, you know what I mean, the hip hop that's coming out, I'm hearing bare emotions. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to read between the lines and see like what's really going on. There's a lot of hurt. There's a lot of pain. There's a lot of things that people don't necessarily want to be involved in, but just because of the circumstances, and they have to like project themselves in a certain way. You know what I mean? Because like I hear a lot of vulnerability in music. You know what I mean? If you have the right ear to listen to it, you can really see it and hear it.
100%. Half of these niggas are talking about like their ops, but really they're talking about the pain that, you know, their ops have caused. You know, for me, like, I know what I've dealt with that same energy, you know, like losing people in your life, and like having maybe, you know, who took the person's life that, you know, you held dear to you. Like, how do you process that emotion without like being like destructive, or without being volatile or something like that? A lot of times it happens through the music, you know. I think we have a couple of big, this is a big concert here still. Big up JB Stacks. Says, yo, what's going on? Lean on my jeans, throwing some hearts up. Love that. Sly Fox, big up Sly Fox. He said, these are some great pointers. Drip City said, a lot of these young men's ability to advocate was taken away from them at a tender age. Parents, especially black parents, usually stating how you feel a way of you talking back to them. That's the beginning.
Shout out to Drip City for that. Yo,
Yo,
there's a lot to unpack. We might even have to do a whole like segment on like
On that.
parenting and the experiences that come with that. Yo, that is so major. Oh my gosh, yo, that just gave me goosebumps, man. That
facts.
it's so true. It's so true. And just to kind of like counteract that, like, I have two small children by myself. I have like a 11-year-old and an 8-year-old, and I always make the distinction of my kids being able to express themselves and express their emotions and how they feel, as opposed to being disrespectful. So I always tell my kids, like, yo, you have the right to be upset. You have the right to be angry. You have the right to be frustrated, but I just won't tolerate the disrespect. You know what I mean? So I'm training them to be able to like really learn how to like, deliver their messages without being disrespectful, because it's important to feel these emotions. And you're absolutely right. This is where it starts. I know for myself, like, I grew up in a Jamaican household, you know what I mean? So what talking back, express, that's done. That's a wrap.
Licks,
What?
licks.
Right. So where does that what does that teach us? You know what I mean? It teaches us to keep our feelings to ourselves. But then what happens is it comes out in dysfunctional ways. I might be upset like of something that I experienced in my home, and then I go outside in the community and one man gives me some dirty look, and it's like me, the guy with the dirty look, it's not I'm just responding to him. I'm responding to like all those other opportunities that I didn't get to express myself. So it's all coming out one time on that, man. But that's a big point, man. I mean, what do you guys say to that, man? Can y'all relate to that experience?
Yo, dog, honestly, those are the first like authoritative relationships that we build, you know what I mean? Like I'm a like, as I hear Drip City say this, I think about like, yo, why we don't like them, or why we don't like teachers, or why we don't like, punishment, it's always in a way where like that authority kind of silences or dismisses your cause, you know what I mean? So all of a sudden, you could be frustrated about something that's completely valid, but because you're saying, oh, because you're not like getting that space to really unpack how you feel,
right.
it just ends up being stored up inside of you until you build up and burst, fam. It's like, I really believe that, it's hard because we don't really learn to voice our frustrations or express our concerns and stuff like that. And it starts in the house, like, and their parents are just trying to maintain that order, you know what I mean? Like, trying to maintain a regularity between, the household. But it's like, if that regularity is based on, just silencing anything that disrupts the harmony, I don't know how peaceful that can be. Like, I don't know if that's sustainable peace.
For real though.
And what you got to say to that, Mars? We'll add on.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if at home is not a place where you can voice how you feel, you know what I'm saying? With your parents or the people you love or whatever. For my case in particularly, I was raised with my mom. My mom's a white woman, you know what I'm saying? My dad's from the Caribbean, but same ways, like when I got to a certain age and I'm trying to tell my mom, like, yo, mom, I'm cheese, like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, I couldn't go on with those things, and I couldn't talk to her about certain things. So as a result of that, I left the crib. I was like, yo, I'm leaving, bro.
Straight up.
I'm going outside. And now I'm going to the hood. You know what I'm saying? What do you think's going on? You know what I mean? What do you think's going on? What do you think I'm the places where I'm feeling safe and that's being normal to me? What do you think I'm doing? You know what I'm saying? Because I couldn't have a conversation at home. So now I'm talking to older people out there on the hood that's like posted out there. I know they probably went through the same things, you know what I mean? But I don't tell them that, yo, fam, I tried to say something to my mom and she wasn't hearing me. Yeah. And now I'm here venting with you. It's just like, yo, fam, yeah, you're going over there. I'm a forward with you. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Next thing you know, you're doing morning and night shifts. Like, it's crazy.
Straight up, dog.
Man.
Straight up.
Yeah, I just want to go back in the chats real quick. Top Wiz Up mentioning was asking me about my upbringing and if I had any mentors. My upbringing, raised in a single parent household. My mom's had me when she was like 19, you know what I mean? So super young. But growing up, like, my mom's definitely did like the best that she could to keep me in tuned and connected to like my culture, and had like a positive like male like role models around me. Like, she was very intentional about that. Growing up, I was lucky to have like certain mentors, you know what I mean? Just some of the older men in the ends, you know, that knew that, you know, the street life wasn't for me, and they were like, yo, you know what, this is not for you. Try this other thing, you know what I mean? Like, so I got more into like the arts, and I was lucky to find mentors that helped me express myself in that way. And you know, doing music and doing like videos and all these things, like I thought it was like my creative process, but I really learned that it was a way for me to like really discover myself and get my emotions out. You know, like my creative process became my way of like, you know, developing emotional intelligence. Now, I wouldn't have been able to articulate this like 10 years ago. I didn't know that's what it was. But when I listen back to my music and things that I recorded, I'm like, oh, that's what I was doing. That's really what it was. Like the studio was our therapy session, you know what I'm saying?
Big
Getting all these
facts.
emotions out and what have you. You know, so I was lucky to have like people who saw talent in me when I didn't see talent within myself, and just encourage myself and connect me to different programs and resources, which is also why I'm so passionate about giving back, because I know the value of it. And if I didn't have these opportunities, I would not be doing what I'm doing now. And it's just a trickle effect. You know, the way how I feel empowered, I want others to feel empowered. You know what I mean? Especially when you don't have like male mentors. And I just want to add on to another comment that was mentioned by Drip City 416. A lot of these men grow up in single mother households and grow up and with a bitter mentality, especially towards other men. And I agree
Jeez.
with that 100%.
Sure.
100%. You know what I mean? Because I know like I definitely wanted my father to be in my life a lot more than I expected. And you know, as I got older, I started understanding there's a lot of variables that go into that. But as a youth, I took it personal. Like, you know what I mean? I was like, yo, he's dissing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that anger got translated in different ways. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Like, and that comes out in different ways. You know, I didn't realize it at the time, but now I can look back and I'd be like, nah, man, like that's where it was. A bit of a chip on my shoulder, and having to be the man of the house too. The responsibilities. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
really having to step up, and that kind of like interferes with just being a child. You know what I mean? A lot of us growing up in the ends, like our childhood is like, you know, is kind of interrupted, disrupted, however you want to frame it,
Sure.
because we have to fill certain shoes, and then sometimes we get the pressure on that from our moms too. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I know me, I had younger siblings, so I had to be like, you know, the big brother, like the man of the house, like kind of like the father figure, the responsible one, and so on and so forth. Almost not even having the opportunities to or even allowed to like make mistakes. You know, it wasn't time for that because life is serious, you know. So it's so true. There's like a lot to like unpack in that we go through. And that's why these conversations are so important to have, you know what I mean? Because like we all feel it, but we just don't know like how to deal with it. You know what I
For
mean?
sure. And I'll build a little bit. You know, I didn't realize, but you know that bitterness was kind of informing my reservations about other men. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
was kind of like looking at like my idea of a man. I'm like, that guy's a waste dude. I'd be looking at grown men being like, yo, that guy's a waste dude because he's not able to maintain certain, you know, elements that like, you know, like, yo, you couldn't, like, you're abandoning your youth. You're
Right.
wasted, dog. Or like, yo, you're not, you can be present in your child's life and you're not there.
Word.
Dog.
Facts.
Or like, yo, you're getting, you should be earning bread right now. I'm 18, you're 35. What are we doing out here on the same time? There should be no reason why both of us are outside. There's no reason why I should be able to come par with you and it's 12 o'clock in the afternoon. You know what I mean? Like just little things like that. Like I started to think about like, yo, what is a man? You know what? And that all started with that, like that absence or the void that I had in my own family dynamic growing up.
Mm, mm,
Most
mm,
definitely.
mm. Yo, man, more chats, man. Shout out Drip City, man, just coming through. You know, we might even have to add you onto the chat, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, we still got
No
space for
cap.
one more. You know what I mean? You can come
Big
through
fact.
if,
No
Big
if you're
cap.
fact.
down. But Drip City is saying that, you know, hurt people. Whoop, chats are going nuts. Okay, hurt people. It's a cycle. A lot of people don't believe in spiritual battles, but a lot of these people are suffering from generational curses. Hey, yo, you want to come on the chat, man? Because you're saying some like heavy stuff right
Pure
now.
gems. Pure
Very
gems.
important.
Pure
Now we're
gems.
talking. We're talking about spiritual battles. Oh man, because what people got to understand is that everything we see begins in an abstract space, you know what I mean? A place that's non-tangible, you know what I'm saying? That's not physical or whatever. A simple way to explain that is like our thoughts, you know what I mean? Dead Prez has this line where he says, everything you see is just a thought manifested. So this phone that we're talking on right now, like once upon a time that was an idea in the brain, and then from there, like a series of events took place in order to bring that into reality, into fruition. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of things that, you know what I mean, that are even transferred generational. You know what I mean? A simple way how we know that is like genetics. You know what I'm saying? Like even if you haven't met your parents, you're going to have traits of them. I'll even take it there. You even have like characteristics of how you operate like them. You cannot even meet your father, but someone who knows your pops will be like, yo, that's your youth, 100%. Like stuff you have no control over. You have no control over that. That's just there. But the trick is the awareness, because once you have the awareness, then we have an opportunity to kind of like shift and like be like an alchemist and like really change that energy. You know what I mean? But absolutely, man, generational curses, I mean, there's generational curses and there's generational blessings. You understand? So it can go either way. But the awareness of that is super key, man. Believe that everything starts from like a spiritual place in order for it to be manifested physically. Like everything.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So shout out to that comment, man. That's big, man. And yes, hurt people hurt people.
And yo, if I'm not correct, I think in Drip City, correct me if I'm wrong, you know, Drip City is a young man himself. He has a brand out, you know what I'm saying? And he advocates towards like a lot of like, you know, stopping good violence and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Correct me if I'm wrong, Drip City, but I think I know Drip City. I've seen him. He's out here, yo.
Hey, yo, anybody? Yeah, I was gonna say anybody who wants to jump in and on the live, man, like, you know, send a request and we'll get you in. We really want to. This is like an experiment, you know what I mean? So if all goes well, this might be a thing. We may just keep doing this on a regular, you know what I mean? Matter of fact, if y'all find any value in this, us having these conversations, should we continue this? Should this be like a regular thing? Because I mean, we stay having these conversations regardless, but we just thought that we would put it out there for those who may not have access to this, because, you know, just seeing examples I think are really important. But then again, you know, I rather let the people decide, you know what I mean? So
for sure, yo, please, you guys gotta let us know. It's that, you know, just all you gotta do, yo, throw up a one in the chats if you guys want to see these conversation going on, you know, just throw a one up in the chat, you know, just so we know.
And just to make a correction too, Drip City is a young mother from Toronto.
Okay.
Even more important.
There you go. There you go. You know, so shout out to Drip City. Thank you for contributing to this conversation, and we gotta keep in touch and keep building. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yo, much love. I see you guys throwing it up in the chat. Yo, that's all love, you know, because we do this for each other. We do it for all of y'all. So, you know, like, this is important for us, and to know that it's important for y'all, that means the world, you know. So this is something that we definitely we've been thinking about doing for a while. We're thinking about opening up these conversations to y'all, but to hear you guys respond, that's all love, yo.
Was that T Bear? Yo, you done know T.
Jeez. Yeah, man. So true, man. So true. Yeah, Spirit saying those conversations are often overlooked. Okay, well, yo, I mean, we're gonna keep bringing this in, man. You know, like maybe just, you know, every week Monday at 11, because I mean that was the time we do our check-ins anyways. But this time we just said like, yo, let's just put this online. Let's just see what happens. You know what I mean? So it looks like it's a thing, man. It's a thing.
Yeah, every Monday is at 11, y'all.
Yeah. All right, man.
Big up you guys, yo. Honestly,
done.
Shout out to all of the participants, yo. Like, this is important, dog. We've realized the value of these conversations, and, you know, just based on our experience thus far, like, these conversations have changed the lives of the people that have been participating, you know. So that's why we're trying to be out here helping all of you guys. You know, you guys participating helps us just as much as you feel this conversation helps you. So that's real love.
Teach one.
Indeed. And then we'll definitely find ways to make it interactive and stuff like that. You know what I mean? We can contribute like giveaways and, you know, who knows, all kinds of different things, different opportunities, you know what I mean? Because we're always, you know, in tune to different things. So, yeah, man, we appreciate that. But like I said, anybody else, like, you know, who wants to jump in on the video, on the live, man, you can send us a request. You know what I mean? Because like I said, we want to keep this interactive. So, you know, a lot of people in the comments are dropping some serious knowledge. And we want to make sure that this is inclusive, you know, and really utilizing social media, because there's so so many things out there on social media that can like really, you know, shift the
Throw
vibe
you
or what,
off.
you know what I mean? But this is a way of how we can really use these tools for something positive. You know what I mean? Because people say social media, this and that. I'm like, yeah, that really depends on how you look at it or how you interact with it. But we have an opportunity to really change that narrative. You understand?
All right.
Big fact.
You know, Dub said, you know, this is my day off. Salute for y'all. The positive start to my week. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think this is a lovely way to start off the Mondays,
Yep.
you know?
Yep.
I love that. I love that.
Absolutely.
I feel I really like the idea of Monday, you know, first thing on the Mondays, you know, like let's get everybody's energy right to, you know, tackle the week.
Facts.
And then boom, we come back the next week and you know, this could be a space where we check in with each other on some like, yo, what did you get accomplished? You know, what were you trying to get accomplished? You know, just building up that accountability between everybody because we want to see everybody grow here, you know. I'm trying to meet all of you guys at the top of the mountain, you know. So if we could help each other get there, let's do that.
Indeed.
Will said that I could send it to some people I know just because I know they would take y'all in versus some TED Talk by someone that doesn't look or know. That's
Yo,
that's
you guys,
Glows, and Glows, you're always welcome on the platform, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Glows. She's a young woman herself. She's an artist and she's awesome. She has a very bright light, you know.
Done already know. Big up
that warms my heart. I love that.
Big up Glows.
It's nothing but peace, man. Nothing but love. Yeah, man. You know, again, like just bringing these conversations to the forefront, making it accessible. And again, this goes back to like what we mentioned before about meeting people where they are. You know what I mean? Because I know there's young people who may not be in school, maybe whatever, or maybe they're in school and are virtually, and this is not engaging, man. And they're still open to knowledge, but just sometimes the way how it's being delivered to them is just not. It's not what it is.
Just not hitting.
You know what I mean? It's just not it. It's just not hitting.
Word.
You know, because that's what I learned. You know what I mean? Like I was trained to feel that I didn't like school. And it wasn't that I didn't like school. It was just the process and the structure of schooling that I did not like. I was always open for education because, you know, when I would listen to certain songs or certain music, but that was my way of getting educated. You know, listening to like Wu-Tang. I know I'm a little older than y'all, but like Wu-Tang and, you know, Dead Prez. These were my like audio school books. You know what I'm saying? Like these were the ways how I got engaged, man. So that's what it is, man.
Yo, Dubs is killing me.
Wrong one.
Yo, Dubs is
said, let's talk about how the All-Star game and how it used to be. It came and left and don't mean none, King. Yo, I'm more pissed about the dunk off, dog. Yo, defund the dunk off, fam.
What happened, yo?
Defund the dunk off.
It wasn't it, fams.
Let's talk about it, man. You know what I'm saying? This is how we keep it inclusive. I didn't get to check it out, you know what I mean? That's this year, but I mean some of y'all peeped it. What happened, yo?
Oops. It's just weak, yo. It's just weak. You know, the last year they tried to do this new format. It's just really complicated. Like they add up the scores at the end of each quarter, and like they gotta play to like the total of those quarters. It's just a lot of it's not basketball. It's very simple. It's very simple. You know?
Too much.
Put the best players on the court and let them ball out. Like it's not rocket science.
Wow.
For real though. Yo, what you guys got planned for the day though?
We got prep for the day. Well, you know, I got my little one. She's making a guest appearance. She's supposed to be in class right now, by the way, but it's all good though. Oh, you're on break?
No, 10 minutes.
Okay.
But I can't get in.
Okay, I'll come fix you in a second. Yeah, so that's pretty much my day. This is real time, real life. You know what I'm saying? This is like the modern parenting, the modern entrepreneur. Like, you know, we just growing hands like arms and legs like an octopus, man, just making sure things get done. But no, like I feel blessed, you know what I mean? Because it also gives me an opportunity to spend like extra time with my, you know, my younger one that I normally wouldn't get that kind of time. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And really just setting up for this week. You know what I mean? I know we got like our session tomorrow. We got Wednesday and Thursday. You know what I mean?
We on this week.
We on this week, you know. So it's good, you know. It gives me motivation and you know, keeps me inspired. You know what I mean? So it's just a lot of like planning for that and you know, just bless, man.
That's all.
That way. Yo, me, I'm just. Yeah, you guys know I'm in my course right now. You know, I got my online course going, dog. I'm halfway through. You guys know I got to finish that before the end of March. So I'm going to beat on that a little bit. I recorded something last week, so I gotta go mix that down and make some touch-ups, you know. I'm working on that project, trying to get that finished in. I'm reading this book right now, so I'm just trying to get some gains on that. And
What
then,
book?
yo,
What
I
book?
got
What
a
book?
couple of Atomic Habits. Hold on.
Yeah,
Big up.
yo, we want to give some resources to people, you know what I'm saying? Because we got to know like what's going on, man. Share the knowledge, man. Share the knowledge. Okay.
Atomic Habits, yo.
Atomic Habits.
Tiny changes, remarkable results, yo. Honestly, this book's been it's been pretty good to me, you know. Big up More Moves. That's one of my close friends. He gave this to me. He told me like, yo, take this in. This might be something that's good for me. So I've just been doing the do's with this. Let me see if there's something I could pull out of here quick for y'all, you know, just for resource sharing and all of that, you know.
Yeah, man, we do it all, man. This is what it looks like in real time, man. This is how we build.
That's how we do it.
Share the knowledge and inspire each other.
Okay, woo. Let me. I'm gonna read a short passage. It's called "Imitating the Close." So I'll try not to be too long, but I feel like it's very useful for what we're talking about in terms of just, you know, building new community. All right.
Right.
So,
Go ahead.
it says, one of the principles of building community is imitating the close. Proximity has a powerful effect on our behavior. This is true of the physical environment, but it is also true of the social environment. We pick up habits from the people around us. We copy the way our parents handle arguments, the way our peers flirt with one another, the way our coworkers get results. When friends smoke pot, you give it a try too. When your friend has a habit of double checking that the door is locked before you go to bed, you pick it up as well. I find that I often imitate the behavior of those around me without even realizing it. In conversation, I'll automatically assume the body posture of the other person. In college, I began to talk like my roommates. When traveling to other countries, I unconsciously imitate the local accent, reminding myself to stop. As a general rule, the closer we are to someone, the more likely we are to imitate some of their habits. One groundbreaking study tracked that 12,000 people for 32 years found that a person's chances of becoming obese increased 57% if he or she had a friend who became obese. It works the other way too. Another study found that if one person in a relationship lost weight, the other partner would also slim down 1/3 of the time. Our friends and family provide sort of an invisible peer pressure that pulls us in their direction. So I'm gonna leave it there.
Yeah.
And you know, I feel like it's important because we're cultivating this code of conduct between all of us, you know, like I'm hoping that, like, if checking in is the theme of the day, you know, hopefully by being in proximity to one another, we're able to start implementing and embedding those type of works and type of tools in our lifestyle. So big up Drip City said, birds of a feather flock together.
Yeah. Some people are saying that they need like the ebook for this, you know what I mean? There's probably audiobooks. To be very real, chill, like lately, audiobooks have been my thing, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like in the audiobooks where I can just like plug in and just like, you know, just play or whatever. I do like physical books, but audiobooks are great. But just to kind of summarize like what you just said, Triple, it kind of reminds me, and again, coming up in Caribbean households, like we know the saying where it's like, you know, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. You know what I'm saying? So, but you just broke it down in great detail. Like that really makes it plain. You know what I mean? You talk about knowledge, wisdom.
Yo, Drip City just dropped that in the thing too.
Old Jamaican proverb. Facts.
Yo, that's that parent game. That's that parent game, yo. You guys are dropping gems. Drip City, Logic, now you guys are dropping gems.
Trust me, yo. Yeah, man. Well,
yeah, fam. I was gonna say, you know, for the day, I'm about to go get some food cooking.
Okay.
I gotta go to the studio for 2:00. So gonna do some self-care before that, eat some food to make sure my vocals are nice and strong.
Jeez.
And you know, get this day on the go, man. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Well, that's peace, man. You know what I mean? Got any last words? Any last words?
Honestly, fam, this was super blessed. I feel I was a 10 when we started. I'm like 100 right now.
I'm a 10, yo. I'm a
So,
10 now, yo.
Yeah, I'm
you know,
that
shout
10
out
now.
to, yeah, fam, you know, shout out to Manum for hopping on this, having this conversation. You know, we do this regularly, but it's not a regular thing to the people who are watching us do this.
Yeah.
So I think it's very important, and it's important to me to see how people are like reciprocating that energy, you know, and showing their interest. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, even though we might be the three on the screen, the however 14 people that's on here, you know what I'm saying, you guys have all contributed to the conversation.
Mhm.
And we're gonna keep this going every Monday at
Yeah,
11 o'clock.
every Monday at 11. So like, you know, I'm even gonna put out, you know, me some virtual like flyers, so, you know, some stuff that we can pass around so people can know. You know what I mean? Even have like some of the topics on there so people can be prepared and add on. You know what I mean? Like you all are part of this. And you know, it's really just that kind of like dropping kind of vibe. You know what I mean? So you might miss a week or whatever. Don't watch no face. Still forward, still come
Something like
true.
follow next week, you know?
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Let's make this even bigger and better. And again, like I mentioned before, I would love to even have a rotation where some of our participants can even jump on the video and share and whatnot. You know what I mean? Because we really believe in the each one teach one model. You know,
Oh,
you don't
hey,
want to just be like, you know, to make you feel like, you know, like there's like this hierarchy. It's like, nah, man, everybody
none
has
of
something
that.
that they can contribute as you've seen in the chat. You know what I mean? And I think that's something that we do really, really well. So yeah, man, big up everyone for participating in our trial run. I
100.
think it was a success. I love it, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Can't wait.
same time next week, Monday, 11 to 12, man. You don't know.
You don't
Good
know.
Can't
way to
wait.
Yo,
start
man,
Monday. Yes, shout out Queen Unique. You don't know.
fam, you guys
Everybody
have a good
bless us.
week. Yeah, everyone on the call, you guys stay blessed, and we'll see you next week. You already know.
Oh,
That's
oh,
right,
oh,
yo.
oh, oh,
All right, yo,
oh.
peace,
All
family.
right, salute.
Don't know.
We out.
We out.